it's Shell from Scrap Secrets and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're going to be creating a full panel shaker card using tulle featuring the Sparkle Blends S.W.A.K blend and the background stamp from the Hugs Enclosed Honeybee stamp set. Oh, I'm taking a piece of 110-pound white Recollections cardstock from Michaels, put some washi tape on the back of it, and I'm using my Hampton Arts Stamp Perfect and my Misty Creative Corners to center that white piece of cardstock. If you put it all the way up to the edge, which is where I would normally do it with my stamp platform, it won't always stamp the very edge of it, and you'll have like a white border around the outside. So I like when I'm using big background stamps like this to have my paper off of the edges. I think it just gives it a fully stamped look to the background. And I started off with that Catherine Pooler Midnight ink, and I was having a really hard time with the ink pad. The felt part was coming off of the background, and I'm not really a big fan of that. I know a lot of people like that ink. I ended up using the VersaFine Black Onyx ink to finish stamping it, and I think it gave it a nice crisp image. And I'm using my white gel pen because I had something on my stamp. It was probably a hair and it got onto the background, but you're not really going to be able to see that once we put the tulle on the front and then the shaker pieces inside. So I'm getting out a little tray and I'm going to dump out a bunch of the pieces because I'm going to pick some colors of Copic marker that coordinate the best with the pieces. So I love those adorable little envelopes. I picked this blend and then I picked the stamp set, and I think they go together perfectly. So I'm picking out 2 pinks and 2 reds because what we're going to do is color in the hearts on those little envelopes. This background is super quick and super easy. I wanted it to just be a pretty quick card, like last minute Valentine's Day card. I was working on some for veterans and senior citizens for this place that I donate stuff to a lot of times. I'll make some birthday cards and donate them to there. I also sponsor several children at Christmas time. It's a great organization and they are so fantastic to children in need as well as families in need and the elderly and veterans. I love that she doesn't forget about them. So she asked for cards and I said, of course, I will do as many as I can. I think I'm going to drop off about 20 tomorrow. So this was one of them, and I wanted to do something quick and easy. So I thought just doing these red and pink hearts just would give it a pop of color. And also if you saw the clay pieces, you'll see that they are white and black and then they have pink hearts in them. So I thought this would match absolutely perfectly. I think I colored in some little pieces of the envelope. They weren't all hearts, but I just thought it needed a little bit more color in places, and you probably wouldn't have even noticed if I didn't say anything. If you did, let me know. So I thought it needed a little bit of color around the edges, and I went very, very light-handed. As you can see, I'm not even shaking the table like I normally do. Just went very, very lightly around the edges to just give it a little bit of more color. I just wanted it, the center to be the white and the black, and then a little bit of color around it. So now I'm taking white tulle that I have, and this is just from Michaels. This is probably left over from one of the tulle skirts that I made. I made a bunch for the girls, actually for most of my nieces. I have made tulle skirts at some point for Halloween costumes mostly. So this was probably left over from that, and I love making shaker cards out of this. Whoever came up with this idea, this is absolutely fantastic. I cut the tulle a little bit larger than the card base, and I'm just going to fold over 3 edges to create a pocket. Normally I would fold the sides in first and then do the bottom, but I decided to do the bottom first this time, and I think this works better, at least for myself. Try not to pull it too tight because then the paper will bend, but I have just a teeny little bit of space between the paper and the edge of the tulle. And I think it shakes a little bit better too. I'm going to cut off the excess because when I glue it down to the card base, I don't want bulk on the back of it. And then I am going to pick out the pieces from the blend that I want. Now I dumped everything out and I knew that that was way too much and I didn't want to use it in there. Was checking to see if those big envelopes would shake, and they would. I do end up taking a couple pieces out of there. I didn't want to use a lot of the clay pieces because I love them, and I think there were like 3 or 4 in there, and I'm like, that's too many. I need to use the sequin pieces and keep the clay because they are just so cute, and I only got one of these ones, so I think I might have to do another order and get some more. But I'm going back in and adding some more of those dot ones and the red just to give it a little bit of color. And then the white kind of has a shimmer to it. It has a little bit of pink when the light hits it. And there are also those little envelopes in there, which I think you can see one of them, and it's just so cute. It just has a little red heart on it. So again, that's why I picked those colors. I thought they would match absolutely perfectly because there are envelopes with pink and red hearts. So once I'm happy with the amount of shaker pieces that are in there and making sure everything is shaking properly, I will glue the top down using my ATG to secure everything in place and then cut off some of the excess. So this is one of my favorite ways to make shakers. Like I said, in some of my other videos, I don't have any foam tape yet. So I've been coming up with creative ways to make shakers, especially since this is my second project for the guest design team for Doodles Paper Playground, which makes these really awesome sparkle blends. I will leave the link to the Etsy shop below. I will also leave a code. It's Shell10 in the description box, so you guys can get 10% off $10 or more order from Sparkle Blends, and that will end March 3rd. At the very end of March. So I will leave all that information in the description box below, but make sure that you use the code for 10% off and check out what Amber has in her shop because it's super adorable. So this is from another honeybee stamp. I am using the Sending Paper Hugs Your Way because I thought that was adorable with the envelope. And I'm also using MFT's Sweet Tooth Pigment ink for this. And this stamp set was from the same release. I don't remember the name of it. I will leave it in the more information section below, the description box below, and I will try to link everything. So it's just making sure that that white ink was dry because it's pigment ink. And now I'm going to get ready to finish the card by attaching it. I do put ATG on the card base. I was going to just do that and then just put some down the center, but I actually go back and add a little bit on top of the tulle. You just have to be really careful not to pull it up because the glue wasn't really sticking to the tulle, but eventually it would. Sometimes it just sticks to the gun itself instead of coming off onto the tulle. You kind of have to pull it off. But that is the card for today. So I hope that you found this super easy card. I hope that you try out a full panel tulle shaker card if you haven't already. Check out the Sparkle Blend shop, and I will see you guys again real soon for another video. Bye!